the best way for you to jump into a higher paying job because people make money when they move companies.
Generally speaking.
Yeah. Not always, but most of the time.
Generally speaking, company hopping is how you increase your salary, generally speaking. Because for the most part, at the vast majority of companies, if you stay with a company for years and years and years, which is the old school way, if you stay at the company for years and years and years, you're going to get your standard 3% inflation increase a year. Very standard. Like, that's super duper standard. And that's old school. You know, you sit around you stay in your office and you do good work, and maybe you don't move up, maybe you do. But if you don't move up, you're still going to get your 3% extra a year. At the end of 40 years, you're going to get your golden watch or golden bracelet or whatever. And but if you want to start making large movements in your money, if you want to make large increases in your income potential, usually it's leveraging what you've already learned and then going to another company and doing the same thing or doing something different.
Yep.
And so I guess, that's kind of everything. That's the most important parts of it. And like I said, like we've been talking about, if you're so fixated on what a lot of people get fixated on is one job. Like, I want to do just this. All right. Well, there's no guarantee that you're ever going to get this job. And for whatever reason, they're not hiring you right now. First thing, figure out why they're not hiring you. All right. Maybe it's not experience. Maybe it's education. Probably not, but whatever. Whatever it is, figure out what it is. And then go and get another job. Go get experience in that field. Whether or not that's a lower position in the company, do you think you can move up to that? Or whether or not it's another position, an equal position in another company, doing something similar, whatever. Whatever it is, figure out the why of why you don't have that job, and then tool your career around that.
Yep.
Okay. Now, a lot of times if you're just thinking about how to get a job without a degree, this is the way to do it.
Yep.
This is it. And it's super simple. It's not easy. We understand. This stuff is not easy.
Yeah, I get why people don't do it. One, because they're not taught to. Two, because they're scared.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like
which is totally valid.
Yeah. And so we're not reinventing the wheel here. There's nothing new about anything that we're saying at all. Nothing revolutionary. We didn't, you know what I mean? Nothing revolutionary. We're basically at the core essence of this whole thing is basically act like you want it and harass people.
Yep. Not legal advice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't actually do that, because I don't want to hear about us telling somebody to go stand outside somebody's.
It's just jokes, folks.
Just jokes, folks. Don't actually harass people who you want to hire you. That's not really effective. But being persistent is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And doing out-of-the-box things. One story I always tell is I read somewhere that Sarah Blakely, when she was applying, she's the founder of Spanx, she's a billionaire, super smart lady, and very good at getting people's attention, obviously, right? And I read a story once that when she was applying for jobs, she took one shoe and she put it in a box, and she put her resume in the box, and then she put a note in the box that said, "Just trying to get my foot in the door, one shoe." This lady's a genius. And she boxes this thing up and she sends it off to the company. And if you've ever worked at an office and if someone FedExed in a single shoe with a note that said, "Just trying to get my foot in the door," the HR rep or the receptionist would have been walking around with that shoe in their hand all day. And I think people are like, "Oh, that wouldn't work." But then they've even worked in an office and they don't realize how that would be the most interesting thing that had happened in like months. You know what I mean? That people would be laughing about it. People would be talking about it, and the goal is to do something that's memorable. Get their attention if you want their attention. Why? Because once you have their attention, you can ask them for what you want. And you have to ask if you're going to get it at all.